It's September 2020 when I'm making this video, so we're about 6 months into this pandemic that shut down all live events. I've been watching what people are doing pretty closely and experimenting with the events that we do, and I'm trying to get a handle on what works and what doesn't. So here's what I've learned so far. You wouldn't binge on Netflix for 3 days straight, so everyone needs to stop trying to put their 3-day event online in that same kind of time frame. I think the events that are getting engagement are really short and sweet. The reason that you can watch Netflix for hours on end is because of the really high production values and the editing. So you think about how long it takes a television producer to shoot and edit a show. People lose interest really fast when they're watching things on screen if it's not super tight. The best analogy I've seen for online conferences is to make it kind of like a morning show with a host or hosts that are holding it all together and throwing to the various presentations. If you're trying to do a hybrid kind of event, there are two quite separate audiences that you're working with. If you were watching Eurovision, for instance, there's a live audience and then there are the commentators speaking directly to the viewers. Those are two quite different kinds of experiences and they need different kinds of interaction. The text message voting that Eurovision uses keeps the screen audience feeling like they're participating, while the live audience gets the energy and the shared experience with the live performers. You need the same kind of experience for an online conference audience versus the live audience. Both need to be engaged in different ways. Online doesn't mean free. I'm also guilty of this. When everything crashed in March, we took some of our events online and made them free. And the thinking was just to keep the audience engaged in any way that you could. But the reality is that online requires just as much, if not more, time to produce than a live event. Part of that is because everyone's still trying to find their feet on how all of this works. But part of it is because it's still an event and it still requires planning. You still need a producer. I saw a blog post recently by Peter Moore from Nectar saying to think of the platform that you're using as the venue. I really like that because that's where the content of your event is taking place, but you still actually need someone to put it all together. So I'm sure that my thinking on all of these things will continue to evolve, but that's where I am in September 2020.